Yella Beezy has been in plenty of drama, but this might be the moment it all comes crashing down. Explosive leaked footage has just surfaced tying him to Mo3's murder, and the internet is losing it. What started as friendly competition quickly escalated into an all-out war, with diss tracks flying and tensions reaching a breaking point. But Mo3 saw it coming. He rapped about it, warned everyone that he had a target on his back, and when the moment finally came, he never stood a chance. But here's what doesn't add up. Beezy always acted like Mo3 wasn't even on his level, so why is his name now tangled in the very thing that ended Mo3's life? And more importantly, how did it get to this point? The murder footage. On March 20th, 2025, the hip-hop world was shaken when Beezy, real name Marquise Conway, was taken into custody. Authorities claim he orchestrated a deadly hit back in November 2020, allegedly hiring Q and Dontrell White to carry out the crime. But the real shocker? A chilling new video has just surfaced, sending social media into a frenzy. The footage captures the victim, rapper Mo3, real name Melvin Noble, desperately fleeing for his life along Interstate 35E in Dallas. It was broad daylight on November 24th when chaos erupted. Mo3 abandoned his vehicle, sprinting down the highway in a last-ditch effort to escape his assassin. Fortunately, a Kroger 18-wheeler had its camera rolling and caught everything, the moment and of course the chase that led to Mo3's death. At first, everything in the clip seems ordinary, just another day on the highway. But then, two cars suddenly appear. On the left, a gold sedan, Mo3's vehicle. On the right, a black car belonging to the shooter, Q and Dontrell White. In a calculated move, Q, the owner of the black vehicle, floors it, surging ahead in a chilling attempt to cut off Mo3's escape. By now, it was clear. Mo3 knew his life was in danger. Instead of panicking, he slowed down, carefully searching for a way to maneuver past the black vehicle without making himself an easy target. Every second counted, every move was calculated. But then, in a moment no one expected, Mo3 made a shocking decision. Instead of trying to speed past Q, he came to a complete stop and got out of his car. But what's even more puzzling is what he did next. Instead of running immediately, he moved toward the passenger side of his vehicle. Was he reaching for his gun? If so, why not grab it before stepping out? That brief hesitation, those few critical seconds, could have just been what sealed his fate. Unfortunately for Mo3, his assassin was already on the move. Q had just stepped out of his vehicle, armed with what appeared to be an SMG, and began walking toward Mo3's car. The moment Mo3 bolted, Q sprang into action, chasing him down without hesitation. Then, just as the tension reaches its peak, the footage cuts. After a while, Q is seen entering into the footage, sprinting back to his vehicle before speeding away, leaving behind the aftermath of his deadly pursuit. We can see that Q, no doubt, reached Mo3. A passerby captured this heartbreaking scene of Mo3 lying on the freeway as someone desperately tried to revive him with CPR. A grim end for someone of his talent, lying motionless on the asphalt, his life fading with each passing second. Tragic, no doubt, but his death wasn't exactly shocking. Mo3 had been saying it in his music for a while. He knew he had a target on his back, and there were people out to get him. Now with Beezy getting indicted by a Dallas County grand jury for capital murder, accused of hiring Q to take Mo3 out for money, or the promise of it, there's only one thing on our minds. How did it even come to this? Beezy and Mo3's long-standing feud. Yella Beezy and Mo3 were both rising stars out of Dallas, but they came from different sides of the city and moved in different circles. Yella Beezy grew up in Oak Cliff, while Mo3 was from North Dallas. Beezy kicked off his music career by dropping mixtapes on SoundCloud, but his real breakthrough came in 2017 with Lightwork, Vol. Receipt 2, featuring the hit single That's On Me. The track climbed to number 25 on Billboard's Hot R&B/hip-hop songs chart, and a star was born. By 2018, a remix featuring 2 Chainz, T.I., Boosie Badazz, Rich the Kid, Jeezy, and Trap Boy Freddy put Beezy's name on the map in a major way. From there, he collaborated with hip-hop heavyweights like Chris Brown and Young Thug, and even opened for Beyonce and Jay-Z. Mo3, on the other hand, had a different come-up. He attended Berkner High School in Richardson and dropped his debut mixtape, Shataz, in 2014. 2 years later, Shataz Reloaded caught the attention of Baton Rouge rap icon Boosie Badazz. Their connection grew stronger over time, leading to a joint album in 2020 featuring a remix of Mo3's hit single Everybody, which peaked at number 136 on the Billboard 200. According to his obituary, Mo3 knew he had made it when he was filming the music video for Broken Love with Louisiana rapper Kevin Gates. The track quickly trended at number 8 on the top 10 chart, solidifying his rising fame. His obituary highlighted the impact he had. He traveled all over the world, blessed his fans, touched lives, inspired kids, made a difference, and made people just want to be better, all through his music. Mo3 was just 28 when he was tragically killed in 2020. He left behind 3 children, daughters Malaysia and Malia Noble and son Tremonia Noble. But Mo3's and Beezy's careers weren't just about music. They were caught up in a long-standing rivalry within the Dallas rap scene. Both artists competed for recognition, and tension simmered over time. According to Hype Fresh, part of their beef stemmed from a dispute over who truly represented Oak Cliff. They exchanged diss tracks and took shots at each other on social media, though they publicly downplayed any real animosity. But one major turning point was when Roy Lee Pate, a Dallas-based comedian and Mo3's friend, was shot in North Dallas in 2017 after questioning Beezy's Oak Cliff ties. You see, back in 2017, comedian Roy Lee Pate, aka Roy Lee, started taking shots at Yella Beezy, calling him out for claiming Oak Cliff when, according to Roy, Beezy actually went to school elsewhere. Lee was fired up, even challenging Beezy to a fight in one of his videos. Fast forward to October 2018, and things took a dark turn. Roy Lee was shot in the leg, and while he initially survived, he passed away 2 weeks later on October 13th due to a blood clot. Then, just hours later, early on October 14th, Beezy was ambushed while driving on the Sam Rayburn Tollway, taking 8 bullets but managing to survive. Some felt it had to be Mo3. Naturally, the internet ran wild with conspiracy theories linking the two events. YouTube and social media are packed with deep dive videos trying to connect the dots, but let's just say that rabbit hole runs deep. Mo3, however, wasn't just speculating. He made it clear in his music where he stood. During a time that would have been Roy Lee's birthday, Mo3 dropped a diss track aimed at Beezy, making it obvious he believed Beezy had some role in Roy Lee's death. He didn't hold back either, throwing in lines about a rapper getting shot on the tollway and questioning rumors of a $10K bounty on his own head, warning that if true, some shooter's going to end up dead. Both sides weren't shy about addressing the situation in their music. Mo3 went all in with his diss track, while Beezy even used footage of himself in the hospital for online videos, turning the situation into part of his promo. At this point, the tension was thick and things were getting real out in Dallas. You could even feel it in their music. Mo3 was never shy about addressing his rivals, and he used his songs to take direct shots at Beezy. In tracks like 219 and Everybody remix, he accused Beezy of being involved in setting up people close to him. Mo3 had a reputation for rapping about real-life conflicts, and many fans believed his lyrics were more than just entertainment, they were personal. On the other hand, Yella Beezy never fully engaged in a back-and-forth diss war, but he didn't ignore Mo3 either. He took a different approach, often downplaying Mo3's success and throwing subliminal disses instead of naming him outright. In interviews, Beezy would brush off questions about Mo3, acting as if his rival wasn't relevant.
Well, after we did the interview with you, I interviewed Mo3.
Who?
Mo3.
I don't know who that is.
This only fueled the tension, as Mo3 saw it as disrespect. Mo3 had a reputation for being one of the biggest trolls in the Dallas rap scene, and he knew exactly how to push Yella Beezy's buttons. He frequently took to social media to mock Beezy, questioning his street credibility and making it clear that he didn't see him as a real threat. For instance, in a TikTok video, Mo3 discusses controversies involving Yella Beezy and their manager Rainwater, where he addresses issues related to street credibility and their ongoing disputes. Mo3 often bragged about having more respect in Dallas, claiming he was the one people truly feared and respected in the streets. This wasn't just about music, it was personal. Mo3 made it a habit to expose what he saw as Beezy's weaknesses, whether through Instagram, live, comments, or straight up calling him out in posts. Fans ate it up, with some taking Mo3's side and others arguing that Beezy was just staying out of unnecessary drama. However, when Mo3 died, Beezy became really active online. His label, Empire, posted an Instagram tribute to the deceased artist. It featured the rapper's photo and read, "Empire has lost a member of our family today, Dallas's own Mo3. We share this loss with Mo3's family, team, and fans. His infectious personality and unrivaled talent brought joy and therapy to his legion of followers across the country. We can only hope to continue his legacy and push forward with the same energy that Mo3 shared with the world." The post finished off with a "Long live Mo3." Despite the heartfelt tribute, his ops were on a whole different vibe. They were celebrating. Yella Beezy went live on Instagram, and while the comments were flooded with talk about the tragic incident, all he had to say was,
What y'all talking about, man?
The rapper completely ignored the comments about Mo3's death and wrapped up the live stream with a cryptic message, one that felt more like an alibi than anything else. But that wasn't the last time he was caught on camera celebrating his ops' downfall. At the start of 2021, Beezy took to Instagram once again, this time making it crystal clear how he felt. He posted about ringing in the new year by putting his haters in the dirt, a not-so-subtle jab that had people connecting the dots.
Hey man, new year, new blessings. You understand me? We made it through a hell of a year. You understand? Anybody that ain't for you, anybody that's going against you, anybody that's goddamn negative, you understand me, ain't bringing no positive vibe. You know, in the words of Gucci, put that in the dirt. Damn! For sure, you did. And we go take a toast. to that.
And he wasn't the only one making noise. Trap Boy Freddy, another one of Mo3's longtime rivals, took to social media, not to mourn, but to complain about the traffic caused by the shooting. His reaction had people raising their eyebrows, with many seeing it as more than just bad timing. It felt like a not-so-subtle hint at his involvement.
Man, whoever got the freeway blocked off need to get y'all shit together, dog. God damn. They ain't get on the freeway. And all got the freeway blocked off all the way on Polk, dog. They got going.
Freddy didn't stop there. He followed up by posting a tribute to some of his fallen soldiers, a move many saw as a clear sign that revenge had been served. Now, with Yella Beezy indicted by a Dallas County grand jury for capital murder, accused of hiring Q1, it looks like Trap Boy Freddy isn't sticking around to see what happens next. Word on the street is he's on the run. One fan's comment summed up Trap Boy Freddy's situation, saying, "Trap Boy was all up the street recording near Mo. Dead body ain't no point of doing this. Run, buddy." Trap Boy Freddy might just pull a Tay-K on us. Remember Tay-K, the rapper who was on house arrest but had a brilliant idea just days before his hearing? He posted this, then decided to cut off his ankle monitor and make a run for it. And not only did he go on the run, but he also dropped a whole song and a music video while dodging the feds. Of course, that didn't last long. U.S. Marshals tracked him down, dragged him back to court, and now he's looking at over 5 decades behind bars. Trap Boy Freddy might just be taking notes. Meanwhile, in Dallas, folks had been piecing things together way before the news of Yella Beezy's indictment broke. The whispers had been getting louder, and Beezy couldn't dodge the questions in interviews forever. He denied any involvement every time, but it wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. The nervous energy, the awkward shifts, the way he acted right after. Yeah, people were reading between the lines.
I did want to ask this is, you barely acknowledged it. You barely ever had anything to say about it, but there was a lot of tension, at least on records or people talking online, between you and Mo3. Now that he's passed, how do you view all that?
During his No Jumper interview, he straight up told Adam the Fed that he didn't have any kind of beef with Mo3.
I ain't never had no tension with nobody.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
I ain't never been no tension with nobody.
He continued by saying,
I'm serious. I don't have a problem with people.
Right.
I don't even, he ain't had no problem with me.
fans saw right through his lies, with one guy saying, "The body language says different. Look at his legs rocking." While another guy posted, "He checked his phone for no reason, just turned it on and off." That's anxiousness. He's definitely uncomfortable, possibly being related to having involvement in the murder. In any case, Mo3's death isn't the only criminal engagement Beezy has had. Matter of fact, Beezy is quite notorious with the law. Beezy's criminal engagements. In November 2021, Dallas rapper Yella Beezy, Marquise Conway, was arrested in Collin County, Texas on charges of sexual assault, child endangerment, and unlawful carrying of a weapon. This arrest sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, as Beezy had been one of the biggest names coming out of Dallas. According to reports, a woman accused Beezy of raping her during what she believed was a date. She claimed that she had gone to meet the rapper in a setting she thought was consensual, but alleged that he forced himself on her. The details of her account weren't immediately made public, but the charges were serious enough for police to take him into custody and set bail. At the same time, Beezy was charged with child endangerment, though the specifics of that accusation remained unclear. Authorities also found a firearm in his possession, leading to an additional charge of unlawful carrying of a weapon. Beezy quickly denied all the allegations, calling the accusations false and claiming that he was being set up. He took to social media, insisting that the encounter had been consensual and that he was being unfairly targeted. His legal team also pushed back, stating that the case lacked credible evidence and that Beezy was being unfairly scrutinized because of his status as a public figure. They emphasized that he had no history of sexual violence and urged fans not to jump to conclusions. Despite his denial, Beezy was indicted in 2022, meaning a grand jury found enough evidence to formally charge him. This didn't mean he was guilty, but it did mean that the case was serious enough to move forward in court. For nearly 2 years, Beezy faced legal challenges, and the accusations hung over his career. He remained active in music, but the case had a noticeable impact on his public image, with some fans questioning his innocence while others stood by him. In 2023, the case took a dramatic turn when the charges were dismissed due to lack of evidence. Prosecutors were unable to present enough substantial proof to move forward with a conviction, leading the court to drop the case entirely. This was a huge relief for Beezy, who had maintained his innocence all along. However, even with the legal victory, the accusations had already done damage to his reputation. While some fans fully believed he was innocent, others remained skeptical, arguing that a lack of evidence doesn't necessarily mean nothing happened. Despite the case being dismissed, dismissed, the allegations still cast a shadow over Beezy's career. He continued to make music and attempted to move past the controversy, but the stigma of the charges lingered. Yella has been out here getting familiar with police protocols from the number of arrests he's had since 2020 on. Valentine's Day, 2021, Beezy was arrested in East Oak Cliff, Dallas during a traffic stop. Officers pulled him over around 5:50 p.m. on Sunnyvale Street for traffic violations. During the stop, police discovered multiple firearms in his vehicle, a black GMC Yukon with bulletproof windows. Beezy, then 29, was arrested without incident and charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. As a documented gang member, he was not allowed to have handguns in his car. In August 2021, Yella Beezy got arrested in Texas after being pulled over by law enforcement during a routine traffic stop. What initially seemed like a standard stop quickly turned into a serious legal situation when police allegedly discovered over 400 grams of a controlled substance and multiple firearms in his vehicle. Authorities claimed that during the search of Beezy's car, they found a large quantity of drugs along with several weapons. The controlled substance they seized was initially reported as a felony level amount, which meant Beezy could have been facing severe drug-related charges. Given the quantity, there was speculation that law enforcement might pursue a distribution-related charge rather than just simple possession. However, Beezy immediately denied the allegations and challenged the police's claim about the drugs. He insisted that the supposed narcotics were actually hand sanitizer that had been wrongly identified. He took to social media to voice his frustration, arguing that he was being unfairly targeted and that law enforcement had jumped to conclusions without properly verifying what they had seized. Beezy's defense team worked to disprove the claim that he was in possession of illegal substances, arguing that the police had misinterpreted what they found. As for the firearms, Texas has relatively loose gun laws, so the legality of the weapons in his car was unclear. He may have had them legally, but the circumstances of the stop raised questions about whether he was carrying them in a way that violated any statutes. Despite the serious nature of the arrest, the case didn't lead to a major conviction. Over time, the charges seemed to lose traction, with the evidence regarding the so-called drugs coming under scrutiny. Since no substantial conviction followed, it suggested that Beezy's claims may have held weight, or at the very least, that the evidence wasn't strong enough to pursue serious penalties. While this arrest didn't end in a legal disaster for Beezy, it was yet another run-in with law enforcement that added to his record. Alongside his other legal troubles, it contributed to the perception that he was frequently involved in criminal investigations, whether justified or not. But man, do his troubles not end. In October 2018, Yella Beezy was the target of a brutal shooting while driving on the Sam Rayburn Tollway in Lewisville, Texas. The rapper was hit more than a dozen times, but despite the severity of the attack, he miraculously survived. However, he was critically injured and had to undergo immediate medical treatment. According to reports, Beezy was driving early in the morning when an unknown assailant pulled up alongside his vehicle and opened fire. His car was left riddled with bullets, forcing him to lose control and crash. Emergency responders arrived quickly and rushed him to the hospital, where he received treatment for multiple gunshot wounds. Given the precision and intensity of the attack, police suspected the shooting was a targeted hit rather than a random act of violence. At the time, Beezy was a rising star in the Dallas rap scene, and his growing success had drawn both fans and enemies. The shooting immediately sparked speculation about who might have been behind it, with many believing it was tied to the ongoing tensions in the Dallas rap community. Some pointed fingers at his well-documented feud with Mo3, as both artists had been taking shots at each other in music and on social media. However, no direct evidence surfaced linking Mo3 to the attack. Adding to the mystery, no arrests were ever made in connection with the shooting. Law enforcement investigated but never publicly identified a suspect or a motive. While some in the Dallas music scene saw it as a clear retaliation attempt, others suggested it could have been linked to separate street conflicts or personal issues outside of music. There was also the case of Boozy getting shot. Remember that? Apparently, rumor has it that Beezy shot him. Boozy Badass collaborated with Mo3 on the track Wade in the Water, which many fans interpreted as Boozy aligning with Mo3 during his disputes within the Dallas rap community. Then, in November 2020, Boozy Badass was shot in the leg in Dallas shortly after attending a vigil for Mo3. How strange. Yella really hated Mo3, but he also gets hate from other rappers too. Go Yayo, a rapper from Fort Worth, had his own tensions with Yella Beezy, adding to the drama. Within the Dallas-Fort Worth rap scene, Go Yayo often called out Beezy, questioning his authenticity and claiming he was an industry plant rather than a real street artist. He implied that Beezy had industry backing that helped him rise to fame, rather than grinding his way up like other local artists. The feud wasn't just about music, it was also about credibility. Go Yayo prided himself on being deeply connected to the streets, and he made it clear that he didn't believe Beezy had the same background. He even went as far as to mock Beezy in interviews and on social media, suggesting that he wasn't as tough as he made himself out to be in his music, and that he was an industry plant. Yella has managed to escape every obstacle thrown his way, whether life-threatening or not. But will he slip out of this one too? 2? Only time will tell. In the meantime, if you like this, don't miss our other videos on your screen. Thanks for watching.